package management. We do the package management in Red Hat by using the RPM command. So if we are working on the Red Hat environment, we are working on the Red Hat machines. So the packages are having the extension of .rpm, and if we want to use those packages, we want to manage the packages, we use the RPM command. And for downloading the packages from the online repository, or we can create our own, but we want to use, then we can use the yum command. We can use the yum to download and install the packages with the dependencies. So we can download, we can configure the yum server, we can configure the internet repositories, either the Red Hat repository, but that is you have to do the subscription first, and if you have not used the subscription, then you can go for the free repositories. Now in the other hand, what we have is the other kind of architecture for the Linux, and that is called Debian. So Red Hat and Debian, we have two different type of architecture here in Linux. Now in Red Hat we use the RPM packages, but in the Debian environment we use .deb packages. That means the extension for that is .deb. Now when you find a package which is .deb, so we can't use it, we can't install it by using the RPM command. So if we have a package which package has a name with .deb, so we can't open it, we can't install it, these packages we can't install it with RPM command. So we have to use the command which is used in Debian machines. And in Debian machines, in Debian style machines, what we have, all the packages extensions are .deb. Like we have the Kali Linux, we have the Debian, we have the other Debian versions. So on those versions we have all the extensions or .deb. Now for managing or installing these .deb packages, we need what? We need a command, and it is called dpkg. So this dpkg command is used to manage that .deb packages. Right now we don't have this command in our Linux because this is RHEL, this is Red Hat Linux, so we don't have this dpkg command available in this. We will have this command available in our Linux system, our Debian Linux systems. So this is another Linux I have started, which is actually a Parrot Linux, and this Linux is designed on Debian style. So it will do what? It supports Debian packages. And in this RPM, when you try RPM here, it says command not found because it is not Red Hat. It is actually RPM. It is actually Debian style. So here, when you use dpkg command, it works here. It says the command is there. I have not given the right options. So the dpkg command works here under the Debian style machines, and RPM is for the Red Hat machines. Now here, if you need to install the packages, so .rpm will not work. If you want the packages for this, it will be called .deb. So there is a file here in my this home directory here under the download. I have one file here. It is called Apache Heads, and this is what? .deb. So same as the RPM files, the extension, the name of the package, then the version of the package, architecture, and then we can see the extension is .deb, so that we can know that this is the Debian file. Now this Debian file we can install with using the dpkg command. Just like the RPM, we can use the dpkg command here with -i option for installing the package. Then you name the package, you can name the package and you can name with the full path. Right now I am on the same directory where the package is located, so I am giving the local path. Actually I am giving directly the name of the package. So for installing the dpkg, these .deb packages, we can use dpkg command. RPM will not work. -i is for install the package, and it is going to install the package. And if you want to remove the package, then you will use -r command. So hyphen I is for installing the package, hyphen R is for removing the package, and then we have the other options also which we can use. Now this is what it is installed, and if you want to remove, then you can use dpkg hyphen R, and this time you will mention only the name of the package. You will not have to mention the whole file name. You have to mention only the name of the package. So you will mention only the name, and then it is going to remove it, and it is removed. Now same as the RPM command, we have multiple other options with this dpkg command. You can give the help here, and you can see all the options available here. So for updating, installing, getting other informations, we can use multiple different options with this dpkg command. I for capital I for info, you can check whether the package is installed or not. Then for installing, the I option, C for the R is for removing the package. We have multiple options available with dpkg also. This I is for install the package, R for remove the package, V for verify the package. Now, so if we have the .rpm files, that means the file belongs to the Red Hat environment, Red Hat machines, and we can use the RPM command to install the package and manage the package. And if the package extension is .deb, then it is actually Debian file. It is actually belong to the Debian systems, and on those systems we can use the command dpkg to install the package. Now, if suppose in RPM, in the Red Hat environment, we have a package, we have a command to use to resolve the dependencies and everything and install the package, download from the internet source. So same as in the Debian files or Debian, same as that in the Debian environment, in the Debian machines, we have a command apt-get. This apt-get command is same as yum in our Red Hat environment. We can use this to install or check or manage any package from here. So we can manage directly. It will go to online if you connect it to the internet. So it is having the online repositories available. So you can use that repositories to get the package and download and install with the dependencies. Let's, for example, you want to check whether you have HTTP available or not. So it is showing these are the packages are there. And if you want to install something, then you can give the name and you can install. I want to get NTFS. I don't know whether it is there or not. So it is listed all these packages related to NTFS. So if you want to have a support for your machine in your Red Hat NTFS, then what you can do, you can select this package NTFS-3G in Linux. It will add the support for your for the NTFS file system. So what it is showing here, these are all installed. These are installed here, automatic, installed. This is not installed. These are installed. So if we want, then we can select them to install, and for installing it, we can use the command apt-get install, and then we will name the package which we want to install, and it will install the package whatever we want to install. So it will use this, we can use the same this apt-get command same as yum in our Red Hat environment. Now back to our Red Hat Linux RHEL. So if it is a RPM file, that means it is packed with the different way, and .deb is packed with the different way. So if it is packed with RPM, so it will open only with RPM, and if it is packed with Debian, then it will open only with the dpkg command. Now this is because of the different packaging system. So RPM uses different packaging system, and in the Debian dpkg uses the different packaging system. But both are Linux and both are same. Both are same in every sense. You can use everything as same. You can use the same application here, you can use the same application there also. But it is the only difference that it is packaging style is different. Now in Linux, basically when you download any softwares from internet or something, you get it from internet or anywhere, because of this packaging formatting, you will not get .dev or .rpm file mostly. When you download, you will get what? You will get not, you will not get the RPM file or dev file. So what you will get is a zip tar file, mostly tar or zip file. So tar or zip file, then what you will feel? You feel okay, it is a tar file, so maybe when I open the file, I will get the RPM file or dev file. So you will open the file, but still you will not get any RPM or dev file. This is because of the different packaging system, so you will not get confused with it. So what every software, mostly the softwares which you download from the internet, it will give you not RPM or not a dev file. For example, I have a software, I have downloaded it, it is on desktop, and this is what? KG Clock. Now it is a software and it is not a RPM file, it is not a Debian file. So what it is actually a tar file which is zipped, which is used a gzip command to gzip it. So what we will do here, we will extract this file first. Now it is extracted. So what we get after extracting it, let's check it. I will go to desktop now. Now what we get here, okay, it is extracted here. It is extracted here under the root home directory. Now what we get here, we get a directory. We have not got the RPM file or dev file. What we got is the directory. So maybe the file is inside the directory. So let's go to that directory and check whether we have the RPM file or dev file. So there is no RPM or no dev file is there. Now why is it? Now this is because of the, I said, because of the packaging thing. So mostly the software developer do what? They create the files and they create it like this, the software file. So it is what? It is like, now how we will install it? So we will install it with the script. So these softwares, this kind of software installed based on the script. It is, we can say it is a script based installation. Now basically what happened when you install any package, RPM or dev, what happened? It will open the package and move all the files which they are to their respective directories. Like the bin files will go to the bin directories, the library files goes to the library directory, configuration files goes to the configuration directory, whatever the documentation will go to the USR directory, then under the var directory it will create the variable files or everything. So what it do, it create and move the files in different locations. So it is not creating the files, actually what it is doing, it is opening the package and copying the files into the respective directories. Now what this here, what we have here, we don't have any RPM or dev file. What we are having here is some of the files we are having here. Now with all these files, we have some script file, we have some binaries here, we have some executables which is showing in this green color, and this is what one of the script, and it is .sh, it is written in Shell language and it is saying install.sh. That means this is the script we use to install this software. So mostly when you download any software from internet, they will come like this. There will be a zip file. When you open the zip file, you will see the files here, and you will see one script which is used to install that software. And also for your help, you will get some readme files there, that how you can use it and how you can install it. Let's check the readme file here. So under this readme file, it is saying this is the desktop analog clock for X Windows systems, and how you can do that. So you can do that by using this. For installation, do the following. You have to do what? You have to make sure the permission is this. Make directory, then you will run the, this is what the script, this is the script, this is the script, install script. So you have to do all these things to install this. So you will use the script with this option M, with this UID, UMask, and then you will name this and you will mention the directory here. Then you will make the directory here under USR share like this, and then you will run the command, run the script, this install script with all these options one by one. So this is what, same as this, you will get most of the softwares, and they will do what, they will run it, they will do what, they will install based on these scripts. So you have to run this one by one to install this particular software. So that is what this install is. What this install is, the script that is created here, this install.sh. How you run the script? You can run it by using the absolute or local path, giving this install.sh. When you run, does not happen anything because it is going to run by using these options. You have to run with these options here. So one by one, as it is saying, so you have to do as the same it is saying, and then you will get your software running. So this is what the script based installation, it is called the script based installation, where you will see what you will do what, according to the readme you will get the instruction, or you will get the instruction or just you will run the script and you will see it is start doing the job. So this one is not like that, but some of the scripts are like you will run the script and automatically it will start doing the job. It will start doing, changing, copying file, everything it will do by its own. So this is how it is called the script based installation. So most of the software when we download from internet, so mostly they are what, they will give us the files and the script for installing that application. That means don't get confused when you download any software from internet for your Linux and you will not see any .rpm or .dev file. That means don't get confused. It is actually a file for, it is a script based installation file. That means you have to install by using the script. You have to look for the readme file or install file. Maybe the instruction will be under the installed file, so you have to read the instruction and then what you can use it to, you can see the instruction and how the instruction says, then you can go on for that instruction and then run the script and install the software. So this is what the package, we can use the script based installation instead of using RPM or deb. So mostly actually you will get the softwares based on this. So this is how you can manage the deb package if you have if you are working on the Debian environment in a Debian machine, or RPM you will use for the Red Hat machines. Other than that, you will get the softwares which is having a scripts for installation. You run the scripts according to the structure, the instruction it is giving. According to the instruction, you run the scripts and then your software will be installed.